Look at all these Amoycane. Gonna turn them all into tarot crystals. Oh, what is this? Black frost suit. And a Nyarl egg. Black frost suit has 70% XP gain on the S2. It's pretty nice. And plus 30% to all party on the S3. So just a XP boosting set. Very nice. Seems I've lost some footage here, but I've picked out Shiyu as my DU demon, and I've been doing a lot of attempts to try and get its plug-in. We're on about kill 10 here. One more chance for today. Come on, boy. Come on. Oh shit, we got it! Oh, we got it! Chi-yu! So we can hand this in at Protopia. Should be an innocent somewhere around here. Looks like it's this guy. Chi-yu plug-in. Thank you. So Ashes and Dust. Desperado now has a fixed cooldown of 1.5 seconds. And it looks like the AoE range was buffed or reduced. I can't really tell. This doesn't make any sense to me. I asked for clarification. I'm waiting on that. Gambler's Ruin now costs 666 Maca per use, which is kind of annoying. It made more sense when it was just one Maca because you're flipping a coin, so you obviously... Well, I was going to say you lose the coin, but technically you don't even lose the coin when you flip a coin. So it just doesn't make any sense at all. But okay, I'll probably still be using that, just maybe not as much. And this was a bug that was happening when you learn these switch skills and then you lose Ashes and Dust expertise, you would still retain the ability to use them, which is pretty OP. I'm glad they fixed that. Down to Rapid. Boogie Woogie got a massive buff. They improved the AoE range, went from 35 to 55, and the target range went from 35 to 55 as well. I'm actually pretty hyped to see this in game, to see how crazy that is now. Let's go check it out. I didn't have any issues with the range of Boogie Woogie. I've been using it just fine. And to buff it that much, well, we'll see. Okay. Oh my god. That far of a distance. Does that mean I can wipe this entire group? Yeah. This is pretty heavily buffed. Yeah, that Kelpie never would have been hit before. That gonna hit the Yuki? Will that hit? Oh, they keep moving around. Yeah, it's hard to really see, but I bet it's going to feel great clearing rooms with this now. Okay, next up for me we have Global Scander. What a massive change. So Scander is just something you have passively. Every player has it from the start. So you don't need to wear Scander sandals anymore. And that means that I can use sets that require the shoe slot. And I just got confirmation that this is actually a buff to Desperado. I thought they were nerfing it, which makes sense because it's basically a spin attack. And it doesn't really... You feel more like a spin character than a rapid character. But I guess they wanted to buff it. Back onto the Scander. These two passives that you could buy from Diaspora before that just give you Scander forever. They had to change these because they were basically useless from now on. So they changed one of them to be an infinite teleport thread, so you don't have to spend MF to buy a new thread every 7 days, and the same for Orb of Speed. That's nice. It's a very interesting way to do it, but I don't have any space on my hotbar for them anyway, even if I did own these. So that's kind of annoying. Some miscellaneous changes that affect me. Fighting Spirits can be put in the material tank, pretty nice. And Yetzirah drops in Kappa is increased by 1. Which is pretty damn good. So that means you get 3 per run. I've already done a lot of Kappa, so I missed out on that one by like a few days. So nice changes. There's your little update read for you. So we're running low on crews. I think it's time to finally dart some. So I got this Arrow of Hell from the little guy, Yagi Gummy, I think his name is, for an act reward. But you can also buy them here at Yagimiya. She has an MF menu where you can buy Medal of Hell, which are the same as the silver ones, just you can use a lot more of them. And also Arrows of Hell, which let you pick a single item out 100% guaranteed. So it's 100 MF per, but I'm going to use the free one right now. Select the Arrow of Hell and pick this 10k cruise. Beautiful. Give them to me. I'm back at TMG trying to get 3k hazel branches. I just want to show you something that honestly I forgot about. You can actually trade in some of the Lucifuge items for extra branches. I think it's the get items option. Other maybe? Yeah, in here. So the Lucifuge DCM goes for 100 branches. I'll trade in all but one because I still want one to contract. And also the Demon Souls, which are useful. I'm not going to trade them all in, but I think we can get rid of one. And also the plugin itself, which I have yet to get any, can be traded in for 350. So just a nice way to speed up the grind a little bit. So I believe it's actually pronounced Chi-Yo, and I'm going to start fusing him up here. These are the moves that I want him to have in the end. Vacuum Blade, he gets one level above his base, so that's not an issue. Hades Blast is an interesting one. It's only learned by a few demons, and specifically the one that I'm going to go for is this Crazy Susanoo, which you can get from Cyan for I think 100 fighting spirit. She has a PG for him. He starts at level 30, but you have to level him all the way up to level 80 to get that Hades Blast, and then you can pass that on through fusion. This close H2 is a buff that you can get from H2, Home 2, but that'll come a little bit later. For now I'm just going to keep it at Matu Kaja, which is like just the close range AoE buff. These three are the TMG buffs for Force. They cost 1000 branches each, which I've already got. I'll have to do the same thing I did for my Digi, giving each of them to one of the demons and then fusing them together into Trifuse to allow Chi-Yo to have all three of them at once. And Spin Booster and Spin Booster X both come from SP through Wildcat, so that'll just be something I'll have to work on. It's going to be a spin close range attacker. So let's grab the PG from Cyan. It is this one, Strange Valentine. They call it Rapture in the game, but it was crazy on the wiki. But it's the same demon. Rapture Susanoo, 100 fighting spirits. Let's grab that. Pick the Susanoo. It's pretty interesting that you can get like such a powerful demon just from a PG here. Normally you need a plugin for this guy. Okay, getting this Susanoo to level 80 should be about 5,000 apples according to my calcs. So we'll use an incense and pump 1,000 in, I guess. Oh, actually, I can just set him to level 80, right? Demon experience level 80. Goodbye, apples. Yeah, that was about 1,000. I'm sorry, about 5,000. And now he has acquired Hades Blast. Should be able to fuse this guy with an angel to make a Tao Tai, which is part of the Chi-Yo Trifuse. Yep, there he is. 90%. There he is. I'll just go inherit that move now. Alright, these are the three materials for Chi-Yo. This one will be giving Marukaja and one of the TMG passives. Atavaka is giving one of the TMG passives, and this Guillotine Cut, which I may not be using. I found it on Atavaka, might as well pass it along. And Tao Tai is giving the TMG passive, and this Sonic Boom, which I didn't expect to have, but it's a nice force spin that I can use before Vacuum Blade. Hades Blast is a great thrust spin, and also found this Blunt Spin, which I may or may not use. Let's fuse them together. Bang, bang, bang. Chi-Yo. 80% chance, 66 cruise, so we might be here for a little bit. First try. Chi-Yo has come home. I always thought this was a cool design. It has a very colourful shield and like a billion arms and legs. An axe, a sword, and a spear. It's got it all. He has 4 eyes as well. And here's where I'm at. Sonic Boom is my 4th spin until I get Vacuum Blade. Got Haze Blast, AoE buff, the 3 passives, and these are just fill-ins for the skills I'll get later, but they're just slash spins, probably won't even use them. As for rebirthing on this guy, it's going to take a while because I have pretty bad access to apples right now, Probably just level him up and rebirth him the natural way instead of feeding him a bunch of apples. I knew I saw a friendship gain item somewhere in here, and look at this one. This is actually one of my best top S3s for the demon. I'm laying out my demon gear right now. I think I'm going to buy this just because the friendship gain is really nice, and you get that plus 20% damage. We don't have fire affinity, so that's a useless stat, although it does cost 100 MF, damn. I can't believe I'm doing a challenge where I only use gear from side dungeons, and I forgot about the best piece of gear from a side dungeon. Frost Ace Run actually has a Hiho belt, and you can upgrade it a few times and it gets quite good. It has expertise earned, which would have helped when I was grinding expertise, but the appearance bonus is where it really matters. It gives you crit, later on it gives you LB chance, and it also gives you a complete immunity to ice. So we'll keep trying to get some more of these. I'm kind of running out of keys though. Alright, I managed to get the 4 that I need, including 2 Frost Ace plugins and 4 PG Frost Ace. Let's item mix all these Frost Ace belts together. I'll show you how it works because a lot of people get confused by this. So you can mix 2 together to make the +1, and that gains, looks like plus 50 crit and plus 50% expertise. Now a lot of people would think to upgrade this again you have to mix it with another +1, so they go and mix 2 bases together to make a second +1, and then when they try and mix them together they find that it doesn't work. What you actually need to do is just keep mixing base versions onto the original one. So this +1 can go in and mix with a base, and that becomes +2, and that looks like it gains 5% limit break chance and 10% limit break power, but only while you're digitalized. And I think this is the final version, +3. It has the 100% chance to reflect ice, and that's actually always active. You don't have to be digitalized to get that, so that's pretty nice for new players. And of course, plus 200% expertise earned on the S3. Okay, we pulled together some demon user gear. I'm wearing partial pieces of my own PC gear along with DU, because I don't have an item for every slot for the DU gear. So we got this pipe that I mentioned before, just has plus 10% SP earned. It's going to be nice. This is my main set. The Lovers Plus gives you plus 15% on the S1 and a good amount of XP as well. For the S2s, demon users don't really have access to any of the S2s because S2 is reserved only for the player. So I just put like damage reduction gear on there just in case I'm in a run where it's me and the demon together. I'm able to have some damage reduction. The S3 is that Sati outfit that I mentioned. So that's just plus 20% damage. I have my accessories, which has plus 20% damage on the S1 and a nice little plus 10 to the stat. Obviously my gun is like the most important part. It has plus 50% damage on the S3. This comp has another plus 30% and plus 5 on the S1. And obviously the Lost Soul Deathbringer is my best extra with plus 30% damage. So I actually have quite a lot of damage. But that's all it really is, like there's no LB or TA, it's just pure damage. As for Soulstones, I put a Korapakuru on the shoe, which gives me plus 50% move speed. And I did find a Tarot that boosts force damage, which is going to be my main style. And I could use that, I could go make a bunch of them if my damage needs boosting. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. There's a few more things I could do if I wanted to increase my damage. If this goes really badly, I guess we'll see. Okay, let's give Wildcat Ice Caves a try. My first Wildcat run, but isn't part of the axe. Oh yeah, and my demon is level 1 right now because I just rebirthed him, so that might be an issue. We'll see how it goes. Move ahead, Wildcat. I didn't look into any weaknesses, but honestly, the only thing I'm going to be doing is just vacuum blading. I have a 100% chance to null force, so if any of these reflected back to me, we should be fine. How's this damage looking? Okay, solid damage. They're dealing damage back to me though. And I have no way to heal myself. So the elf is nulling my force, but I do have the backup Hades Blast. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that cooldown. That's way too much. We'll be able to get cooldown reduction later on. Once I level up a bit more. Ah yes, I'm bound. This is also something I need to figure out. You can get ailment immunity through Demon Force, which I haven't done any Demon Force on this demon yet. We are timed. Probably going to run out of time. This is not going too well, but I can definitely see what I need to do to fix this. Okay, we have to start taking these debuffs now. Okay, ice attacks nulled. Good thing I'm not using ice. That was a quick room. Okay, we're taking heavy damage here. They have protection against force, so I'm having trouble killing them. Oh no, we're gonna die! Yep, I died. Oh well. We'll come back much stronger. All these melons that we gathered this whole time, finally gonna feed them, and they're gonna be useful. So every 100 feeds you do to a demon, they roll for a random passive. I think you can see them all here, yeah. The ones I'd really like to get are every 300 pulls you have a chance to get like 10% Drain, Reflect, or Null, and Affinity. Specifically the ones I would want are Mystic or Nerve, because if I get any of those that are Mystic or Nerve, that means I null all ailments that are classified as Mystic or Nerve. Because ailments only come in 4 different affinities. You've got Death, Nerve, Mystic, and Mind. Chiyo already nulls Death, so he doesn't need to worry about the Death ailments. And I can easily get a Demon Force that nulls Mind. But Nerve and Mystic are much more harder for me to come across. That's why I need to pull one through this. There's a pretty low chance of it happening, but I'll be cheering if it does. So when you're feeding large amounts of food to your demon, you just click it and you toggle on this setting so that it doesn't show a menu every single feed. And you hold down the Enter key and just select this one and then press use. And then it'll feed the maximum amount it can until you run out, or you'll fill up the bar. So this pull, so the first pull we get is 10% penetrate resist. I'm probably just going to chuck most of these away because they're basically useless. And I only have 3 slots. You unlock the rest of the slots once you Matama fuse your demon. I'm only going to show the good pulls, so let's feed all these to my demon. Oh my god, we got Nerve. Amazing. Could put that here. And then we don't need to worry about any Nerve ailments. So that leaves just Mystic. Can we possibly pull the Mystic one as well? We still got a lot of feeds here. Okay, we got 10% Drain Nerve. That's better than Null Nerve, so I'm just going to add that in over top of the one we already got. We're now prevented from eating these Earth Element melons because we don't meet the requirement anymore, which is our magic force parameter has to be below 6. And it's currently 6 and a little bit, so. The other requirement to eat these is very high. It has to be level 95, a Law Demon, and max Friendship. And that'll let me keep feeding up to 12. So double what I already have. Okay, we pulled 25% chance to Null Nerve. It's not Drain, but it is a lot higher chance, so definitely going to grab that as well. Can you give me some Mystic, please? Okay, we got Mind now. That's the one that I could already obtain from a shop, but it does save me from buying it. It's from the Kappa shop, so I'd have to spend that currency that I was getting from Kappa, and I'd rather spend that towards the David plugin, so I can get his Soul Stone at some point. 80% chance to reflect Handgun. That is a strange one. Last pull. Didn't end up getting it, so we'll just stick with this plus 5% close range that I got. And I'll probably start collecting these sands from Distortion now instead of just hiding them from my loot filter. And we'll keep going for that Mystic Null. But for now, these 2 nulls will help a lot if I want to start doing some Wildcat. So I think we have everything we need to try and unlock the Demon Slums, which was a new city that Reimagine added, And New Moon also has all the reimagined content, so you could come over here and talk to a bouncer. New NPC here. This is a shop for members only. Let's be into this crazy place with an Onmaraki person. The cool Onmaraki. Really weird area. But yeah, this is like a guy that hosts a lot of the new reimagined content. So he has stuff to do with the sewers, which is one of the highest tier runs in the game. And the Devil Slum. So the Devil Slum is a place where only demons can live. So you have to make a disguise for you to look like a demon. And apparently that disguise requires 150 Essence of Yetzirah, which we currently have 61. And they recently buffed the runs to give a bit more Yets, so that should be easy to get 150. And as for the orbs, well, I've been doing a little bit of home too. Currently got 9 of the blue, and 6 of the yellow, and 0 of the orange. So we've got a little bit more home to do. And it's nice because I'm able to level up Chiyo at the same time. Slowly rebirthing him. Almost got one fully complete. So yeah, I'll keep working on that and we can start getting into the Devil Slums, which hosts a lot of daily quests. That's something that Reimagine was starting to lean into, like more daily type activities, which is not a thing that I enjoy in my MMOs, but a lot of them do come with that, and they're worth doing because they have to make the dailies super lucrative so people actually go ahead and do them. So they're always very OP, and we'll see what kind of rewards the Slums dailies give us once we get in there. Ooh, a Kuroi Visor. This is very rare, or maybe it was added later because I did a lot of Home 2 runs and I never got this. None of my clannies got this, and now we've got it in just a few runs here. This is an interesting piece because the face it has a single appearance bonus, and what it is insane damage against Satan and some of the bosses inside that run. Also has some partner limit break power on the S3, that's pretty nice. There's a good drop, Cuddly Kuroi. This is a headpiece that is just a cute little Kuroi, but it's special, and I'll show you what it does. So remember that back rooms that I showed you in this dungeon? To enter that normally you have to run through the entire dungeon and then just go through that door. But what Kuroi does here... Oh, I don't have my head. I'll show you what it looks like. So cute. When you wear her, and you talk to this Yagia, he gets a new option to just send you straight into that room. And here we are. So it's just a quick way to get to the shops if you need something in here. And it's actually quite an interesting piece. It has 200% damage against the mobs inside Home 2, and plus 50 crit on top of it. But it's not really that big of a deal because you mostly cap on everything in here because they have such a high weakness. But currently my headpiece is essentially the same, except I'd be swapping out the ice affinity for that Home 2 damage. So I think that's worth swapping to. Other than that, it just has a little bit of damage on the S2, much less than what I'm currently wearing. And if the partner is Cerberus, your XP earned is plus 100%. So that's going to be nice on my player XP gear. Okay, we got a Blessed Light Red Wing. This is actually one of the best back S2s that I have available. It's like a pink cape, and it's upgradable twice from this base point. But it starts out with 20% move speed and plus 3% damage, which is, I think, worse than that purple wing that I was wearing before. And on the appearance bonus, it gains party XP slowly over time. It's a pretty good piece. I need 2 more of those to complete the maximum version. Here's an example to see how powerful Digi can actually make you. You can compare how this Kappa run goes to how I used to run it. Starts off pretty normal, just clearing out the chatter skulls. Once we get unstuck, we can start doing the real damage. Like, look at that shit. Some of them are almost dead. And that's mainly because I have the 40% final crit chance when I use electric only. So 40% of the time, I always do a crit. Look at that. Pretty much all dead. I can just clean up the rest with Boogie Woogie. And that's the boss. Even David himself is quite quick now. You see that kind of damage that I'm doing? Although I have started using these Soma drops because they heal your MP to max, and there's really no better way to heal your MP. You buy these at Cyan for fighting spirits. That was a lot of Kappa, but we got it done. 150 Yets and 15 of all the orbs, so let's go hand in this quest.